Hello everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS. So today is a very auspicious day. We'll be starting our free CSAT crash course. Okay, now the first thing, this is our CSAT course. This is the motto of the course, which is maximum output in minimum time. This is the aim. Okay, if you have seen videos of me, you must have seen that a lot of concepts are covered in very small time. Now of course the lectures here in the crash course will be slightly longer, but the motto would be the same, that is, I will try to give you maximum output of whatever time you devote to me. Okay, this is my promise. Now let's start to see about the course. Now first thing, a few very basic things: the duration of the course, timeline, all these. Okay, now see, first of all, the duration. So this will be around 30 to 40 hour course. Okay, in 30 to 40 hours we'll try to cover most of the things. Okay, most of the things will be covered within this time. Now the timeline will be, we will take around 30 days or 30 classes. Okay, that will cover it. The promise is that we cover it before the end of April. Before the end of April month, we'll be done with our CSAT course, and the CSAT course will suffice for everything. The class schedule now the class schedule will be every day. We'll be having class from 1 to 2 p.m. Okay, every day it will be 1 to 2 p.m. and in this time only we'll have classes every day for 5 days a week. So 5 days a week the classes will go on, that is Monday to Friday. This is an introductory lecture, so it will be slightly shorter, and I'll just introduce you to the course, tell you about what we'll be delivering and how everything will be covered in the course. From tomorrow we will start having one topic at a time, and we'll start with the first day. Okay, now first thing, what we will be covering in this course. Now the thing is, see, one approach would have been that we cover only very specific chapters that have higher weightage. Okay, now that I don't think is a very good strategy. What should be the ideal way is, we should be doing high ROI topics which has greater return on investment. Okay, that is the amount of time that you give to it, you should get more as an output out of it. Now here what we will do, instead of just, for example, if I were to segregate chapters, I would say that number system is very difficult. Now some students also do this and they would just leave number system. Not a very wise strategy, because number system itself is now worth more than 20 questions every year from last 4-5 years. So this is not a wise strategy that you leave number system all together. That is why our strategy will be to do easy to moderate subtopics of each chapter, of all of each relevant chapter. We cover the easy to moderate topics. This is our aim, and I promise you this would suffice for you to clear CSAT. Okay, this is the approach: high ROI topics, easy to moderate level of questions, rather than giving a lot of time to make one topic very strong and one topic not so strong, or just leaving the topic. Because see, understand, the one who is framing the paper, he does not think like you. Okay, he does not think that from this is a tough chapter, so I give tough question, this is an easy chapter, so I give an easy question. They try to make a good mix. Now sometimes in this good mix, certain chapters difficult question may be asked, in some other year certain chapters easier questions may be asked, correct? So it is always about the good mix when somebody is framing your question papers. That is why a good strategy is that you try to understand and learn all the easy to moderate subtopics within a topic. Okay, now next thing, who is this course for? Who is this course for? Okay, now the course is for everyone. Okay, now of course I take regular classes also. Okay, now I have told even my regular students to attend these classes. Why? Because this is the best source of revision that you can have. You give 30-40 hours and essentially you are revising all the most important topics right and then and there with the lectures. That is why I am telling even them who have attended the entire course, the full foundation course, to at least see these lectures online. Okay, so now this is for everyone. Now this is specially for people who are not so good at math. I understand most of you who are very worried about CSAT are not that good at math. Why you would be? Okay, now the exam that you are giving is mainly GS oriented. Okay, just the single hurdle that you find from mathematics again that you left years and years ago after class 10th in your school, again you have to face it because of one subject called CSAT, and that's why people hate this subject. Though I would tell you that it is not a subject that should be hated, and by the end of this course maybe you will start liking the subject. Okay, so now people who are not very good at math, these are the people I have my focus on. That is why we'll be focusing on getting not most questions. This won't be our area where we score the most, but we need to prepare this well enough, because as you know nowadays around 37 to 38 questions out of 80 questions are from math. This is the reality, so please don't run from it. Come with a fresh mind, come with an open mind. Okay, you might have traumas with the subject called mathematics, but please don't carry them. You come fresh in class. I have taught enough people who are not from mathematics background, even feared mathematics, but because they were diligent, they were attentive in class, they were doing everything what I taught in class, they are doing much better than people from engineering background and other science background who used to think that we are very good at mathematics. So please don't fear it. Come with an open mind. You will understand everything. Okay, now, so this is what the course is for. Now, the point of difference. Okay, now there are many free lectures on YouTube here and there. Okay, now what is the point of difference with our course? Now, for people who have seen videos of mine and like them, so basically they would like my teaching style, so that is one point of difference. But even for somebody who is seeing me for the first time, or now, point of difference, what we will like to maintain here is we will do minimum theory. We will do minimum theory, and our focus will be very much on just telling you about the concepts in short, and our focus will be on solving good questions, good and relevant questions. So the problem is why I don't suggest any book for CSAT. Most teachers do not suggest any book for CSAT is because most books have a very much repetition of questions, similar questions given again and again, and those kind of questions are not even asked in UPSC anymore. So here our focus will be on to learn the concept quickly. Now, it is my firm belief that in mathematics and science, question is the gateway to real conceptual understanding. I am telling you this very clearly. That is why you might have seen most of the exams that are based on science and mathematics, they are asking questions. They are not asking you to write theory, because ultimately if you want to build concept in this subject, it comes from these good questions only. Okay, so we'll be doing good questions mostly from PYQs of UPSC, okay, UPSC, CSE, and also of some other UPSC, other exams that UPSC conducts. Okay, other exams like CDS, CAPF, all those exams also have aptitude, mathematics and RC questions. So all those will be the collection of questions that we will be taking in class. And so the process is concepts, then some good questions, and then the focus will be on accuracy, that you don't do silly mistakes. That's why the methods also that I usually tell are not just about solving the questions in the quickest possible time. Okay, if you are very much focused on tricks and this and that, then you can see other SSC lectures and all where there is too much focus on tricks and getting everything in 10 seconds, 15 seconds. No, that is not our focus. Our focus will be on accuracy. Of course, if there are methods, there are short tricks that are very accurate as well, and you can do them in a much conceptual and certain way also. Those of course I will discuss, but every trick that is based on some random pattern that people just mug up, that won't be our main focus. Our focus will be on concepts, good questions, and then learning things which can ensure accuracy for you in the exam. Understood? Okay, then now what are the expectations from you? What do you think? What I might expect from you? Huh? What I might expect from you? See, first thing, please attend the classes live. Okay, hopefully with a pen and paper in hand. Pen and paper should always be there with you when we are dealing with CSAT. Always you should be try to do the questions on your own while I am doing it. Okay, try to at least think. Okay, if you don't get enough time to do the question, at least think that once you read the question, what do you understand, what might be the solution, and then you keep looking at whatever I am telling you. Okay, then the last thing is that now see the notes that is there on the board, that you can get everywhere. Okay, that you can get from my Telegram channel as well, that you can get from the drive as well. But the thing is that you should still be making notes. You should still be making notes always, because these are your notes. And believe me, any topper, anybody who is great at everything, their notes are not worth as much as your notes. You may not be that qualified, but your notes work better for you. So please do make notes in. That would be my suggestion. Now, the final thing is basically that if you follow this course religiously and seriously, I can promise you that CSAT won't be stopping you from writing NEETs. Now, of course, there is an element of GS as well, GS1 as well. So that you have to take care of. Otherwise, CSAT won't be the stopping point for you. You will clear CSAT very easily. This is the aim. Understood? Okay. Now, now let's look at two things because we have time today. So I'll just tell you two things, that is the most important chunks that we have in the syllabus, and then I will tell you how you attempt a CSAT paper. Okay, this is something that I won't be able to take during the when we have proper lectures of some certain topics, then stopping for this becomes difficult. So this I am telling you before only, because even when I know when I am taking the important lectures, I am telling you about the topics, somebody would be always commenting, sir, most important topic bata do, sir please tell me the most important topic, sir how to attempt. So this I am clearing in the first lecture itself. Okay, now see this. So basically the most important chunks are what? See this. Now if you look at reasoning, there is a very important chunk that is usually missed by people. See this. This is coding, decoding, number series and letter series. This is a very important chunk that we have. Now understand this. So this chunk that you are seeing here is always worth 3 to 4 questions every year. Okay, 3 to 4 questions every year. Now after this there is another chunk that we need to do. This is direction sense and clocks, Venn diagram and syllogism. This is again a very good chunk which can give you again approx 4 questions every year. Very easy to do, very doable chapters. This is what we will focus on when we are doing reasoning. Of course, there are other chapters also that if you can put a little more effort, other chapters are cubes and dices and calendar and blood relations. So these are the topics. If you can put a little more effort to it, hopefully you will, at least I will. So hopefully you just follow it. So from here also you can get 3 questions correct. Okay, so this is for reasoning. These are the most important topics in reasoning. There are certain topics that I am purposely not writing here. For example, sitting arrangement, for example, puzzles. Now those topics actually are not very good ROI. So first thing is they take a lot of time to get correct or get an understanding of, and then also in exam conditions very difficult to do because UPSC is hardly giving one question from that entire puzzle. So it is not very viable in the exam hall scenario. So those are not very important. This is the important chunk for reasoning. Now next thing, let's look for mathematics. So in mathematics, what we have to do, see, again, I don't want to lie anyway into you. Number system is the most important chapter. You like it or don't like it in CSAT. This is the reality. Not so important in other exams like SSC, banking, whatever. But number system is the single most important chapter in UPSC with 20 plus questions in most of the years. Okay, so number system we have to focus on, and here I'm not telling you to become very good at number system. That requires a lot of effort and a knowledge of deeper mathematics. What I want from you is here 8 to 10 questions are easy to moderate in nature. 8 to 10 questions are easy to moderate in nature. This is our aim. You don't even need to count that number system has 20 questions, 25 questions, nothing. You just only have one aim, that is you have to do these 8 to 10 questions that come from number system which are easy to moderate. This is the whole aim. Understood? Now apart from this, other important chapters are, there is one chapter named by the name of percentage. Very important chapter. Very important chapter. Many times they are asking questions. At least 2-3 questions have come every year almost in CSAT. Okay, now when you come to, apart from this, this is another chapter that is very important called linear equation. Linear equation is the, now finding direct questions from linear equation, yes, some year you have 1-2 questions, but linear equation is actually the base for you, how you understand questions and form equations. This is what the crux of linear equation is, that you can read a word problem and then write the equations for it, and that you learn in linear equation. Other than this, apart from this, you have ratio and proportion. Now ratio and proportion, these three are the core chapters. Okay, of course it will also give you approx 4 questions every year, sometimes even more. So these are the core chapters. If you do them well, percentage, linear equation and ratio and proportion, if you are good at them, you can do many other application based chapters. For example, time, speed and distance is just application of linear equations, ratio and proportion, percentage, correct? Then profit and loss, then there is a chapter called average, then a chapter called ages. Okay, there are also chapter called compound interest and simple interest, but it only had 2 questions in last 13 years, so I'm not counting it even. Okay, this is all about the most important chapters. And okay, yeah, so these are the 3 very important core chapters, which is percentage, linear equation and ratio and proportion. It will help us do many application based chapters like time, speed and distance, profit and loss, average, ages. All these chapters are just application of these 3. Okay, so if you do this well, you are very well touted to do 4 questions, 3 to 4 questions that come from this part as well. Okay, so this should be, these are our main topics for our mathematics part. Now there is a chapter called permutation and combination. Now the weird thing about permutation and combination is that in 2023 from PNC there were 9 questions. In 2024 there were none. In 2025 there were none. Okay, 1 question you can count in 2024. It was a mix of it. So no questions, and then in 2023 there were 9 questions. Okay, so in permutation and combination, what we try to do, we cover the very basics of it, so that if, let's say, some bad year they want to give a lot of questions of permutation and combination, then you should be knowing at least something. Because if they give many questions from one chapter, what I have seen is some of them are very easy questions. So this will be our aim, that is, you should be doing permutation at the basic level. This is for reasoning and mathematics. If you start counting, this is 3 to 4, then and let's say 10. What I am telling you, there are 30 questions which I have not the number, not so not about it. 30 questions, 30 of the 20 telling you much of comprehension. If you see, so reading comprehension, this I will explain you. I'll teach you in such a way that you will be able to attempt most questions. I don't want to say anything more on it, because every class that I have taught till now, after doing my RC classes, they are able to do most questions, at least attempt most of the questions. Now sometimes of course they may get more wrong, some students may get more wrong, some get less wrong, that depends on your practice and ability, but otherwise you will be able to attempt most questions within time. That will be ensured in RC. There is no particular division that I would do in RC. Okay, then last thing is how to attempt this CSAT paper. Now for almost everybody, please maintain this, that is, first we should be focusing on RC. Now if RC is very good for you or not so very good for you, basically in both the cases you should be completing RC in 30 to 35 minutes maximum. Okay, you can go for 5 minutes, though I don't recommend this at all. Maximum you can go for 45 minutes, not beyond this in RC. Okay, so there was some technical issue. We are right back on it. Yeah, so we were at how to attempt a CSAT paper. So first thing is RC, you should be doing this in 35 to 40 minute maximum. Okay, now of course 45 minute is the maximum that I told you. This should be done, actually the more appropriate time would be 30 to 35 minutes. Then after that, for math and reasoning, you will have approx 1 hour 15 minutes. Why only 1 hour 15 minutes? Because bubbling nahi karni hai, you have to bubble also, correct? So 10 minutes you must have for bubbling whatever answers you got. So this is how your entire way of attempting CSAT paper should be divided. In this 30-35 minutes you should be able to attempt almost all RC questions. Almost all RC questions you should be able to attempt in this very time. In mathematics and reasoning, now you have 1 hour 15 minutes. Now from RC, all I want is for you to score at least 40 marks. At least 40 marks if you can get from RC. If you are doing every lecture and everything properly, I will ensure that you score at least 40 plus marks from mathematics and reasoning as well. So in 75 minutes, let's say you want to attempt, let's say this is 75 minutes and you want to attempt 20 questions. Okay, 20 questions also. 20 questions if you do correctly, it is 50 marks. But let's say for some silly mistakes, let's say you are able to solve 20 questions, then also, so for one question you will have approx 3.5 minutes. Let's consider 3 minutes only, so that you have some space for some RC or sometimes when you get stuck at a problem. So our ultimate aim will be to solve this in within 3 minutes, any mathematics and reasoning, 40 plus marks from this also. And this will help you clear CSAT very easily. You don't need to worry about anything. Just be regular with the course, write it in your own notes and continue to learn. Okay, please be on time and keep learning. That's it for the introduction of your crash course. Hope to see you tomorrow and every day for which this course goes on. That's it. Thank you.